ongoing situation between Iran and Israel and the broader Middle East. We move on now, where Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney has said that President Donald Trump is no longer interested in annexing Canada as the 51st state. Speaking to a reporter at the NATO summit in the Netherlands, Carney said that Trump now admires Canada, adding that any such coveting appears to be in the past. Carney also noted Trump's pressure on NATO defence spending and has pushed Canada to meet its commitments. Now we stay in the diplomatic world, where Chinese Premier Li Qiang is calling on the world to take constructive action in boosting global economic and trade cooperation. Speaking at the opening of the summer Davos in Tianjin, Li urged nations to defend free trade, support multilateralism and build supply chains. He said disputes in trade are normal, but stressed that they must be resolved through equal consultation and mutual respect. Li emphasized the need for countries to coordinate macro policies and work together to strengthen global industrial and supply chain security. China, he said, remains committed to opening up, enhancing connectivity and pursuing mutually beneficial cooperation with the world. The Premier also called for greater resilience in development and for deeper industrial collaboration. Listen in to what the Chinese Premier had to say.
当前国际经贸格局正在发生深刻变化，受地缘政治、技术革新、经济结构等多方面的影响，全球经济格局深刻变革调整，全球经济已经深度融合，没有哪个国家能够离开世界，独自成长、独自繁荣。合作是发展的必然选项。
We move on once again. India's Defence Minister Rajnath Singh will travel to Qingdao in China to attend the two-day Shanghai Cooperation Organization Defence Ministers meeting, marking the first visit by a senior Indian official to China since the military standoff in eastern Ladakh began in 2020. Singh says he looks forward to presenting India's vision for global peace and security and will call for joint consistent efforts to eliminate terrorism in the region. His visit comes just as a National Security Advisor, Ajit Doval, also attends a separate SCO Security Chiefs meeting in Beijing. During the conclave, Singh is expected to hold bilateral talks with his Chinese and Russian counterparts and reaffirm India's commitment to the SCO's core principles, while stressing the need for stronger trade, economic collaboration and connectivity across the region. The SHO was founded in 2001 and India joined in 2017. The SCO is an intergovernmental organisation made up of 10 member states. We stay in the Indo-Pacific. Japan has conducted its first surface-to-ship missile test within its own territory, firing a Type 88 missile from Hokkaido amid growing security concerns in the region. The move marks a shift from Japan's US-based drills, which officials say are costly and limit participation. Japanese government spokesperson Yoshimasa Hayashi said domestic exercises are crucial to train more troops and maintain defensive readiness. While Japan stressed the drill was not targeted at any nation, Tokyo has previously named China as its greatest security challenge. The test comes as Japan boosts defense spending and deepens military cooperation within the United States. Tragedy struck at a shipyard on Indonesia's Batam Island, where a fire on a palm oil tanker killed 4 people and injured 5 others. The vessel, Federal II, was undergoing repairs at PTASL shipyard when the fire broke out. All 9 victims were technicians working on board. 4 lost their lives, while 5 others survived and are now receiving medical treatment. Police have confirmed the fire has been extinguished and a full investigation is underway to determine the cause. This incident raises fresh safety concerns in one of Indonesia's busiest industrial ports. Now we turn to the United States, where protesters in Venice claim victory after Jeff Bezos' wedding was moved from the city centre to a private venue at the Arsenal. The shift followed days of demonstrations by locals, climate activists and anti-billionaire groups, accusing Bezos of exploiting Venice as a private playground. No Space for Bezos led the charge, plastering posters and planning stunts, calling the wedding a symbol of inequality and climate justice. City officials joined the protests and called them absurd, saying the event brings economic benefit and protesters represent a vocal few and not the city. Bezos' star-studded guest list includes Leonardo DiCaprio, Kim Kardashian and Trump allies, as activists prepare more protests during the three-day wedding celebration. A cargo ship carrying 3,000 new vehicles to Mexico has sunk in the North Pacific weeks after a fire destabled it near Alaska's Aleutian Islands. The morning Midas sank on Monday in waters 5,000 meters deep, 415 miles from land. No injuries were reported and all 22 were rescued. The fire began on June the 3rd with thick smoke seen from the deck carrying electric vehicles. The cause of the fire still remains unclear. The ship carried nearly 70 electric and 680 hybrid vehicles, raising pollution concerns, though the Coast Guard says no visible pollution has been detected. Salvage ships and pollution control vessels remain at the site as Zodiac Maritime monitors the situation and sends additional response support. A dangerous heat wave is gripping much of the US northeast, with temperatures in cities like New York, Boston and Washington expected to break records. Central Park could hit 99 degrees Fahrenheit, outpacing previous highs. The National Weather Service calls it the worst day yet for widespread heat. Amtrak has slowed trains while the Washington Monument is closed due to extreme conditions. Construction companies have shifted work hours and boosted safety measures. In New York, primary election voters faced scorching temperatures. Farmland in Western Canada has also been hit hard, with crops suffering from both drought and extreme sun. Authorities say the heat will start to subside by the mid-week. Well, that is